Cochell, got the Servant Safari. Intuitive are called centers. I'm going to go over some physical anxiety associated with your intuitive ability. But make sure you always rule out any possible medical problems before assuming that the condition is related to your intuitive ability. I wouldn't want you to be really sick and ignore it. Now that said, let's look at some of the symptoms you experience due to your intuitive ability. For me, the worst symptom was headaches. I had to learn to tell the difference between a tension headache and one brought on by my abilities. I went through a period of time when my abilities were developing so fast that I seemed to have a headache all the time, especially those ocular migraines that cause your vision to go out, but you never get the actual pain in your head. You just can't see while it's happening. As I learned to fine-tune my abilities, I started doing more work with energy. That's when the headaches started to go away. I still have them every now and then, but the ones I have now are not always caused by my abilities, but are often stress-related. Working with your intuitive ability, especially when you're trying to develop them, can often cause fatigue, weakness, and an overall feeling of exhaustion. I've always asked if I'm getting tired from doing readings. I did often get tired when I first started doing readings, but now I'm at a point where readings generally don't faze me. I've learned to separate my physical energy from the energy I use when I'm doing my readings, so I'm not exhausted. I'm also at a higher frequency than I was when I first realized I had abilities. The higher your frequency, your personal energy vibration, the less you are impacted physically. I'm doing online workshops and posting several hundred times during the day, and then I'll get tired from the actual typing, but not from doing the reading, learning the Misty Crest. As you work with your intuitive abilities, you may also notice moments of dizziness or lightheadedness, trying to experience and increasing your frequency. You also have vision issues prior to seeing a clairvoyant vision. I get the Misty Crest. Sometimes life can be frustrating. Having intuitive ability can also be frustrating because you don't always want to know the things you know, but when you do want to know something, it might be totally evasive. But there are times when having psychic abilities is hugely beneficial. You can see right through someone who isn't telling the truth. You know what is going on when people are whispering and keeping secrets around you without having to be told. And you can open up parking spaces during the rush of the holiday season, or any time that a parking lot is full and you need space. Don't believe me? Well, here's how you do it. If you know ahead of time that the parking lot will be packed, for instance, if you're going to the mall on Black Friday, then use creative visualization. Imagine yourself driving to the mall and finding an empty space in the first row you drive down. You can also ask your guides for help, especially if you arrive to find that there aren't any empty spaces. Just ask them to clear a space for you and lead you to the open spot. You also find that one opens up right away. Remember to always just thank your guides when this happens. The next time you make a phone call and get busy, signal repeatedly your intuitive abilities and the power of manifestation and manifest a clear line so the call will go through. Using your third eye, which is located in the center of your forehead between your hairline and the bridge of your nose, you'll clairvoyantly look at the connection between your phone and the place you're calling. If you're using a cell phone, visualize the signal traveling through the air. If you're using a landline, envision a big black cable filled with other multicolored cables. As you focus on this connection, send strong positive energy through the line to clear it. Imagine all this stagnant energy that's clogging the path moves out of the way, allowing your energy to quickly clear a passageway for you to collect. This is not kicking someone else for the line, so you can all go through it. It's visualizing the line. You can also use the same message if you're clearing up a phone line to intentionally move something. I'm not talking about telekinesis, although this could be a mild form of that ability. When you move something with intention, you're sending the thought to a person or thing to do something differently than what is currently being done. For example, let's say you're driving on the freeway and you're blocked in with cars on all sides, and they could move into a different lane but aren't doing so. If you really want to get out of this box, then send the drivers of the other cars the thought to move into a different lane so you can move over as well. Then say thank you when they do. You can use the same technique in other ways throughout your day. Receiving intuitive impressions for yourself. I'm often asked if I get impressions for myself. Sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. When you're intuitive, there will be times in situations where you don't get impressions for yourself or for those you are extremely close to. If a traumatic experience happens and you see it beforehand, you may blame yourself. I want to address this because I feel that there are people who become fearful of using their abilities because they were wrong in the past, or because they didn't see something they felt they should have seen or known. The thing with intuitive abilities is that you can't always predict who or what will happen in your life because of the conflict of interest. But you're here to learn life lessons, not to grow spiritually in order to progress on our path. So how can we learn anything if we're always seeing everything that is happening to us? You're so emotionally involved with what is going on in your life that you can't see the situation clearly. After all, you're only human. This is part of the human experience. That being said, there's plenty of times when I've seen things for myself or my loved ones. God, when I worked outside of my home, I'd look to see which jobs I'd look, because it looked like the words would rise up on the page like a three-dimensional picture. No psychic is ever 100% correct. If they tell you they really don't get a reading with them, don't expect you'll see everything that'll happen to those in love with you. That's an unreasonable expectation. You can be intuitive, help others with your abilities, with love and understanding, and still learn the lessons you need for your own growth. Don't beat yourself up about what you didn't see. Instead, learn whatever lesson the event held for you. Don't throw your abilities away, but rely on them and know that they will be showing you you're supposed to know. Ask for guidance from the spiritual realm and then listen to the advice you receive. Fear is one of the emotions. Finding and eliminating fears with intuition. Fear is the one emotion that will continually hold you back in all areas of your life. But it doesn't have to be this way. You've probably heard the saying that you should face your fears. But how do you know that if you're afraid? It's not easy, but if your intuitive ability to search out the source of those fears, then they're easier to face and eliminate. Growing up, I've always had a normal fear of ants and false teeth. Go ahead, laugh. These were really irrational fears to me, but they were very real. All I had to do was see a set of false teeth on television, and I burst into a fit of uncontrollable crying. Everyone laughed at me, and I said I was being silly, and they were right. But I didn't know how to stop the reaction. I thought the reason I was afraid of ants was because as a baby I'd be sitting beside a tree and ants got over me. I was afraid of false teeth because someone in my childhood told me that they were going to give me a present. So I should close my eyes and hold out my hands. I did, and when I opened my eyes, there were false teeth sitting behind me. I screamed, dropped in, and hid under the porch. It was very traumatizing for me. I decided to use my intuitive abilities to try to get to the bottom of these fears. I asked my guides for help and to show me the source of the fears so that I could eliminate it. I used my clairvoyance during meditation to sense the instigating event for these fears. This is Jeff Cochell. We have the Serpent Safari. We got some people on the docket, dude. And we're gonna talk about something. We're gonna talk about the big wave. We're gonna talk about shadow time, dude. Mary Silva. I decided to go for the big one. I'm gonna do the Serpent Safari because I was trying to prove that it was okay, and I had a green light. I think my shadow is, it would have been signed if you did not. If you did 9 devices and Canva, dude, people might change their mind, dude. You just get the spirit of whatever you're looking at. Whatever you're looking at online and all your devices, dude. God damn it. I'm gonna go for Canva. I got Canva, I got the Monica 3, I got Princess, we got the Crystal Ship, dude. We got the Monica 3 back, we got Crystal back, dude. We're gonna get Magellan on Christmas, dude. We're gonna have 9 devices. And we can do those for good things, dude. We can do those for purposes of trying to channel. I'm less needy at night. I don't need Athena or Gale as much to cuddle with. Because I already got Athena and McKenna Lee Elrod and other gals I like, dude. And I did DreamWorks. I'll do my shadow in DreamWorks. I did Louis Halverson and Stacy Saren and Jamie getting dying of cancer real quickly, dude. And Cassidy Jenkins and who all, dude. Who knows what that's about, dude. I'm gonna do another video, dude. Just make sure they're all set.